New leaks indicate that The View is in the process of being canceled. Now, this comes on the heels of a lot of different problems with The View. They're constantly being criticized by folks like us, by independent media. They really are kind of the laughing stock of, what do you even call them? News commentary, I guess is what these women are at this point. I think some of them would have the audacity to refer to themselves as journalists, and that really says all that you need to know about The View. What The View has become is kind of like we hear news the day before and we go, I can't wait to see the women on The View freak out about this. And I can't wait to hear the ridiculous opinions that they share on the other end of this. Now, with that, we have Whoopi Goldberg, who recently accused a Staten Island bakery of political discrimination against her because she didn't get her initial cake order filled by the bakery, although they put in the second one when she didn't put her name on it. Now, this Staten Island bakery has come out and say, we were not discriminating against you. We had a boiler breakdown at our bakery. This has nothing to do with you, baby girl. And it seems like they might be taking legal action against Whoopi Goldberg on the other end of this. Sunny Hostin has now become Sunny Legal Note Hostin, as she has been just spouting off lies and in some cases propaganda on her show and being corrected expeditiously, so much so that they are interrupted in the middle of the show and she has to share a legal note. Let's roll the clip.
How could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old? My understanding further on in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her.
Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism, that DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
She's pissed. She's pissed. Thank you, Whoopi. I will read the legal note.
Her face.
It's just, oh my gosh, yeah, she's clearly so over it. And this is like, how many times in a week have you had to do this? Here's another clip of her getting yet another legal note on the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Legal note. I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime. Yep. Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. Another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. He has denied any wrongdoing.
Just call the show Legal Note from now on. Or really long music. We'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, no, let's not call the show Legal Note. Let's call it Canceled. Bye. If they get canceled, I will be, it's just going to be so amazing to hear. It's been a long time coming. You know, it's not because I dislike that they have different opinions. It's just that they have no integrity in the way that they share their opinions. And they refuse to platform people with dissident opinions. And when they do, they kind of get these like lukewarm conservatives who are in no way, shape, or form a representation of the conservative set of beliefs. And they kind of just like bow down to these four women and just agree or choose not to give the differing argument or opinion on some of the stories that they're covering. So it's just unfortunate what The View has become, and they weren't always this way. They weren't always, you know, the Legal Note View, where they were so blinded by not even their ideology, but their hatred of people who disagree with them. It's the same thing with MSNBC. It's not that you disagree with me. It's that you hate the fact that I disagree with you, and you hate everybody who stands on the other side of the aisle. And that can get you only so far, because you're just going to be tap dancing for the same crowd, shouting out into the void, shouting out into your echo chamber, and your ratings can't grow if that's the case. And they certainly can't grow on the other end of an election where you've just been told really to just tone it down a little bit. And you've been told that you're not on base here. And you all know, like 3 years ago, they were looking for a conservative voice on The View, and they ended up getting an email, and they wanted to interview. So I went through, I think, 2 rounds of interviews and immediately knew, like, you are actually not looking for a conservative guest to be on this show. They were asking me, you know, whether or not I felt like I could distance myself from Donald Trump as a conservative, given the nature of who he is, given his mouth. They were asking how I felt about January 6th, and clearly we're looking for somebody who was going to distance themselves from sort of like the Trumpian, like MAGA elements of conservatism that, whether you like it or not, are just a part of politics right now and are going to be, for the next 4 years and probably far beyond that with the impact that he's had on the American electorate. More so than that, they were like, you have to get vaccinated in order to even be on this show. So they tried to force a mandate. I mean, who in their right mind is going to be like the conservative voice who's willing to abide by your mandate to be on your show and sit across from these women and give their lukewarm opinion that gets talked over for who knows how long. So it never ended up panning out. They said on the other end of this election that they were yet again looking for a conservative host to come and sit down with these women. Haven't heard anything else about it. Haven't heard who they've been interviewing or who they've been in the process of checking out, but we might not even get that far, as there are rumors that they're going bye-bye. And I think for good reason. I wonder where these careers go on the other end of this. Like, where does Joy Behar or Sunny Hostin or Whoopi Goldberg go? Do they head to another news organization? Do they try to get like some sort of like spin-off show? Do they fall into obscurity and sort of do the Ellen DeGeneres and just fall off the face of the earth and move to where, I don't know where she's at now, Spain or something like that?
Canada or Europe?
UK? I don't know. She went somewhere.
Yeah, UK.
She went somewhere because of this election, she claims. Is that what these women do? I don't know.
No. Yeah, and they go to Blue Sky maybe and start a Blue Sky streaming channel for that echo chamber.
Right.
Yeah, it's they were so entrenched in their ways that I don't think it would work if they brought in somebody, because it's so that actually has a backbone and that can make the argument. And yeah, I can't even tell which person is supposed to be the conservative if you watch most of these the View clips these days, and it gives me a similar vibe to while you're talking, I was thinking of late night television as well. It's also become this echo chamber clapter thing where whether you're watching Seth Meyers or Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or who's the other one? Oh gosh. Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing, the same tone and tenor. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel, I think, cried on election night, and he's cried several times over things. And it's not even about humor. It's not about the assignment of providing a comedic relief for Americans at the end of their long, busy workday, like it once was, that appealed to everybody. You dish it out equally to both sides. It's just become this, echo chamber and spewing that same hate that Bill O'Reilly was talking about, this vitriol and disdain for people who vote differently from you and don't support your narrative. And what we found out is that those people with this election are actually the ones in the minority. They're the ones that are not normal. They're the ones that are small. And now it's being shown that it's no longer profitable to keep up this institution. There's nothing there. There's no public support for it. So I have a feeling we're going to continue to see things trend in this direction so long as they continue to double down on what they've been doing.
Yeah, it's like, you can believe what you want to believe, but you better keep it cute. And they have not been keeping it cute recently. I mean, with the Staten Island Bakery, with the not one, not two, not three legal notes that Sunny Hostin has found herself in.
Brittany Mahomes.
Brittany Mahomes, coming after Brittany Mahomes and her family, and the backlash that you received on the other end of that. I think Whoopi Goldberg said recently that you can't be a part of Trump's cabinet if you don't have a sexual assault allegation of some sort. So they're really like going out ahead of themselves. And I wonder if part of this is maybe that they know they're getting canceled. And, that's sort of like, when you're going out, that last ditch effort to just sort of thrust all the rest of the energy you have in your body out into the world before you give it that last breath. Maybe that's what we're dealing with them. And they're just really swinging out because they know, the show's getting canceled. It doesn't matter anymore. Or this is just the logical conclusion of people who are consumed with this ideology, and you just naturally crash out if these are the things that you believe about the world. I don't know what it is, but if the business is true and they're getting canceled, I am so curious to see what the last episode of The View looks like, and most certainly what these careers look like on the other end.